Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of the Lewis Hamilton career mode on F1 24. We are absolutely flying through this first season, guys, and we are here for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Enemy territory, behind enemy lines, Max Verstappen's home race. We're going to see exactly how it goes, guys. Before we jump into that though, if you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out, link in the top right for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spoiler warning, let's get into it. So, recapping the previous episode, we have a 10-point lead over Max Verstappen, so we need to increase our margin over him by 30 points to win the rivalry. We need a 40-point margin to beat Max, which is not going to be easy. Anyway, we picked up a very comfortable win in Spa. The car was brilliant, shades of the famous W11 around there in 2020, and yeah, it was also a joy to drive the new layout. Now with that done, we didn't hit all of our specialist objectives, only 3 of the 4, but still making progress nonetheless. Now we arrive at Zandvoort with a 10-point lead in the championship, as I mentioned before. Russell down in P8, we are currently 33 points, if my math is correct, behind Red Bull in the Constructors. So right now we're looking okay, in the Constructors. I feel like we need George to really pick it up a little bit to kind of fight for that title. Regardless, we jump into upgrades and we repurchase a failed gearbox update which didn't quite arrive on the car for the last episode, and then we arrive at a season break, so quite a gap between races, the next one being in nearly a month's time, the 22nd of August, so we've got quite a margin here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some specialists. We're going to start off with manufacturing, completing 3 sessions without damaging our car. The wind tunnel engineer, we're going to go for complete any session with the fastest lap. No, it's going to be complete a lap using 2 different car setups, which is pretty easy. A brake bias adjustment should get that done. And then we go to Power Unit Consultant, which is not available. So we go to Material Fabrication Planner. And for this one, we're going to complete 12 laps during a race weekend, as the first one, we never know, that could be a tricky one to achieve. Either way, we finally go to Strategy Analyst. And for this one, pretty simple again, perfect the race strategy practice program, because that one we do all the time, every single weekend. So with those specialists done, we can skip ahead on the calendar and kind of fast track and just see what the updates are. Now I haven't really focused too much on upgrades besides the repurchased gearbox one, so we'll get into the kind of briefing of updates now. So you can see here we actually have 3 upgrades on the car this weekend, and 1 in each department besides or barring the chassis. So improving the car pretty nicely, aero, engine and durability, which does mean in the performance chart you can see we're top. We overtake McLaren, and I believe for the second time this season we are the top of the performance chart, so stretching our legs and Mercedes back on top for the first time since pretty much 2021. So with that done, we jump into practice, and something really weird was happening here. So I'll let you guys listen to the engine sound through here. Now I'm not quite sure if you could pick up on that, or if you could really see, how the car was behaving. So I felt we had some porpoising going on there, which maybe it's not porpoising, but that's what it felt like at the time. And it was actually really weird, almost like, we're talking early stage 2022 porpoising, when they were kind of understanding how to stop it and the constant bouncing. And it wasn't just there, it also happened through the final corner. Listen to this.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
I don't know what to say. I'm running the SRC setup from Zandvoort, which has been tested and everything is looking good, but clearly maybe with the updates, the setups are designed for default cars, not for modified career mode cars with upgrades. So maybe our car is actually just dropping down a bit on the ride height a bit, and we're getting that porpoising. Anyway, it didn't really affect performance too much. We weren't as quick as Spa, and a bit more of a reality check pace-wise this weekend, and we've got a bit more competition around us. Either way, we picked up maximum points in practice, we had decent tyre wear, and I'd say average fuel consumption, and you can see here we do gain a bit more experience. But either way, practice, update, done. Let's go to qualifying and let's see how things turn out.
With partisan support that we rarely see anywhere else on the calendar, there is an incredible atmosphere at Zandvoort. We're setting the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix in qualifying.
Right then, here we go. Soft tyres on the car, starting off with porpoising. Like literally, even in the full feedback, my wheel is jittering like crazy. We crossed the line for a 1 minute 9.1 and we go straight to the top of the timesheets with a purple sector 3. Just looking at the gaps here, trying to judge if I'm safe, and I'd say that's pretty accurate. So I'm actually going to retire, or not retire, but just not go back out on track and stay in the garage. And you can see we comfortably get through, as does George and most of our rivals. So no surprises as we move into Q2. Now, clouds gathering, possible rain, we'll see how that turns out. Either way, for now, a fresh set of softs on the car. Once again, we did a 1 minute 9.1 in Q1, so that's probably going to be the benchmark we aim for in this session as we make our way through the final corner, opening the DRS here and running up to the line. Let's see what we do here as we try to hit the speed trap. Across the line we go, and it's a 1 minute 8.8. So we improve by 0.3 and go quicker yet again, and P1 once again. So very good pace, car working well, but I don't have that margin that I had at Spa. However, Max Verstappen only P10. Does he get through into Q3? Just P9, and Lance Stroll does get through, but he DNF'd. So only 9 cars are going to contest Q3. Now, pace-wise, as I was saying, I feel like we're pretty on the limit. I don't have a lot more in margin, so I don't know what to expect from the AI. Now in Q3, I could see my tyres a little green stripe, which means rain. Now, last time I checked, I wasn't expecting it. I might have missed it, but Piastri's going out on dries, and so are the rest of the AI. So I'm keen to see what's happening here.
We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters.
On the monitor it said it was going to dry up, and you can see by the end of the outlap the rain has actually stopped. So DRS now enabled.
Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Okay, not sure whether dries or inters are faster, we're right on the crossover.
So dry running it seems for the rest of Q3, so just a very short sprinkle. Now because of that, it just left me a bit short for time for 2 runs, so I actually chose to wait until the track got to its best at the end of Q3, and we're going to go for a single flying lap. So a 1 minute 8.8 is what we did in Q2. The lap times are going to tumble, so let's see what everyone does as we finish qualifying.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
Well, the streak of poles has come to an end. We finish only P8. Very, very disappointing. And to be fair, the field is really close, really competitive here. You can really tell those top 5 teams are just really close in terms of outright performance. McLaren, though, get a front row lockout, so that's huge. Either way, it's the 4th row for us, and we have work to do in the race. So let's see what happens in the main event at Zandvoort.
For years, the people of Zandvoort fondly recalled the Grand Prix they used to hold, and then came along Max Verstappen. Across Europe, the Orange Army sold seats and seats and seats, and now they have their own Grand Prix. It is time for race day in the Netherlands. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. And watch out for cars making use of the DRS zone into turn 1 to overtake. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Sargent, Bottas, and Zhou Guanyu. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. It's race day, it's gonna be a thriller. I'm Alex Jakes, alongside me is Naomi Schiff. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Main event time right now. Zandvoort, time for the race at the Dutch Grand Prix. Now, P8 on the grid, of course, 4th row. Not exactly our best qualifying. One of our worst qualifyings of the season. And it's not going to be easy. Obviously, 2 DRS zones, but the second one's pretty short. So the first one's going to be the primary, in theory. And I don't know what to expect for the AI in terms of race pace. Now, I think we could win this race, but it's going to take a lot of things to go right. And one of them is strategy. Now, originally, the game was going for soft medium, so I assume that's what the AI are going to run. So I'm going to run a medium to soft, possibly even a medium to hard. Box early, like 15 or 14, undercut, and try and hold track position on the hard compound tyre, which hopefully should have basically no tyre wear. Fuel, I'm going to drop the fuel to about 0.3. That should be fine. We should be in traffic, hopefully easy to manage. But generally, it's a bit of an unknown. The AI seem a bit quicker. This is going to be a bit more of a challenge for us this weekend. So guys, comment your prediction down below. Where do you think we'll finish? Like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So it seems we have a majority of cars on soft tyres. However, Perez, just in P5 there, is on mediums, which does that mean Verstappen in P4 is also on mediums? Now, at the minute, I can't really get any temperature because the AI are going too slow, which is far from ideal, but we're going to try and make these work. We are in a Ferrari sandwich. Either way, let's get to it and let's have a fun race. Here we go. Crucial start, first lap, all that stuff. Away we go. Not great. We'll hold the inside into turn 1 though, and fight back against Sainz, but you can see there the tyres are just cold. So Sainz does go through. Alonso and Leclerc go at it. We're going to switch to the outside on Carlos. I think I'll let him have that. We shouldn't be under any big threat from Gasly and Albon, even though they're on softs, as they're not as quick as us. So I think we can just kind of settle here for a bit, get these tyres warmed up, and then hopefully we can start to push in a few laps' time. So no rush, we'll play the long game. Verstappen hasn't gone anywhere, he's still P4. I still can't see what tyre he's running, which I'd love to know, but we're just a bit too far back to find out. So let's just see how things kind of go in this race. At the minute, everyone getting through cleanly on the first lap, no dramas. Clean start all round. Out front, whichever McLaren is leading is trying to make a breakaway. Russell up into P2, which is good to see. porpoising our way through the hairpin or the final banking corner as Norris sets the pace, which highlights.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
It highlights Norris is running P1, so he's trying to make a breakaway here. We was absolutely fine on the pit straight. Oh, Perez, big mistake. Oh, dangerous rejoin. We go over the debris, but we're not going to get a puncture, luckily. But that's going to be damage for Perez. So now we have to strike. Does Sainz have damage? Maybe Sainz is the one who lost an end plate. You can see Checo there, understeering. Just got to be patient and wait for a move. Up the inside, I think Sainz is damaged as well, so we have to clear them both. But that's what the patch has done. Patch 1.03, introducing AI mistakes. DRS on Sainz. He tries to defend. We're going to go the long way around, brake super late, and clear him. And that is P7, so we gain 2 places. Now, can we reconnect with Leclerc and Alonso and co in that lead group? That's going to be the challenge. We'll use the overtake to try and close up Russell in the 1 minute 10s. Leclerc battling, also battling for the lead out front. So we might get a chance to rejoin here. Sainz and Perez have stayed out with damage, so they're going to be causing chaos back there. Big lap, need to push. Oh, overdriving it. I was gaining, but it's hurt us a little bit. Right, the top 6 have formed up into a train. So we'll see now if their pace drops a little bit, or whether they behave well and kind of gradually drive away progressively. At the minute, gap's floating around 2 seconds. I'm trying not to get desperate. We've got pace to compete. I just need to get in DRS though, because we lose a lot on the straights.
Okay, Lewis, Leclerc ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
I'll try. We need to catch up first. We are just starting to gain a little bit. Personal best on the last lap by 0.3. I just wish I had more battery, because it makes a big difference, but we are making inroads. We're slowly closing in. I reckon 2 more laps and we might be there at this pace, maybe even 1 more if we have a really good lap.
Yellow flag.
Oh my god, Russell, George off. Another mistake.
Okay, clear.
Big lock up into turn 1. I believe George was actually challenging Norris for the race lead, so the overspeed with DRS, he just got caught out. So McLaren 1-2 once again. Russell dropping back, he doesn't have the pace. I'm almost there. We will probably get it for the pit straight if I have a smooth lap on this one. There we go. Got it before I expected. So we can now just charge the battery a bit, as we have been pretty low for a while. I'm breaking myself there a little, just trying to close in. Right. Now we can start to plan out our race. Russell dropping back, he doesn't have the pace right now. Those soft tyres probably starting to give up as well. I need to pass Leclerc to complete the objective, but I don't think we will. Unless I get an incredible run up to the line. Yeah, Leclerc's going to hang on, I'm not going to waste battery on that.
That wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it. It's a long way to go, so let's just focus until the end.
One thing to note, Verstappen is on soft tyres, so only Checo was on mediums, but not his teammate. So I think we are the only medium runner in the top 6, which makes the strategy now a bit more interesting for us. It's difficult at the minute to have a look and pass in this DRS train. Like I said, the back straight just isn't long enough, and the pit straight in this train makes it impossible to get a run, so we just have to be patient, wait for a little mistake, a little opening somewhere. But at the minute, the DRS effect is very strong. Ain't too bad of an exit, but the straight just isn't long enough for me to challenge. Yellow flag. One of the state cars out the race. Obviously, I don't think there'll be a safety car, so no concerns. Zhou Guanyu out the race. We're saving fuel, so things are looking really good right now. Once this pit stop phase arrives, which could be any lap now, Things are going to go pretty crazy. We might have a shot here. We're pretty close. Keeping the battery on this time. On the inside of Leclerc into turn 1. Into Tarzan. And we pull it off. Clean pass. No one pitting yet, so everyone keeping their powder dry. But I know it won't be long based off the strategy we got at the start of the race.
Okay, Lewis. Alonso ahead. Right, let's go. Let's try and get past them and put them on the back foot. Push, push.
I mean, are we talking about Alonso here or Verstappen? Either way, hopefully the objective will count if Verstappen boxes. Can we go 2 for 2? 2 in 2 laps. We're going to get the run on Alonso. McLaren's going at it. Alonso defends the inside. We lock her right front, but we go and swing it round.
Okay, George is coming in for his stop.
Get the move done at turn 1. Russell pits, so that undercut could be interesting. That might bring him back into the mix. Another yellow. Ricardo's out. Another one bites the dust. Now, depending on circumstances, we might get a chance to pass another car here. Not quite. Verstappen boxes.
Yes, mate. We hit the target. Nice work.
So it does count. I was hoping...
Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs.
I was hoping, you know, either Max
Yellow flag.
or Norris would stay out and I could maybe get a run down to turn 1, but Piastri was already leading and he was a bit too far away. Either way, him and I stay out. Tyres feel fine. I mean, obviously the front left gets knackered around here. There's a lot of right-hand turns. Piastri's going to pit, so we'll get the battery on and basically get a bit of a launch onto the next lap. Tyre temps look okay. I just don't know when I want to pit. If we can extend, that would help. But do I want softs? I've never used the softs in a race in this game so far, I don't think. So that would be uncharted territory for us. We're in a bit of lap traffic at the minute. Cars who have pit and rejoined on fresh rubber. Alonso splits the McLarens, again confirming Aston do look a bit stronger. We nick a little bit of DRS for good measure, so that's going to help us out quite nicely.
Okay, pit in this lap and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Sainz running deep there, so again that wing damage just hurting him and refusing to pit. We get
Green flag, we're racing again, let's go.
DRS again, so that was a really good lap. Getting double DRS. That was our scheduled pit stop lap, but I'm just going to try and extend a little bit. There's Checo rejoining, so we'll clear him as well with damage. Just want to try and build an offset so our softs are nice and fresh. Obviously we can also fall into the clutches of Russell, that's fine. We can hopefully work with him to get back in the mix. Yellow flag, turn 1. I think a McLaren's run deep. I think Piastri has made a mistake. I think he's done a Russell and run deep at 1. Leclerc and Verstappen duking it out. Alonso has broken away, and so has Norris. I wonder if Verstappen has damage because Russell is now in that fight as well. Or maybe both Verstappen and Leclerc have damage. Either way, all 3 of our rivals are duking it out as we struggle for tyres now massively. On the back end, we are going to box this lap, get the softs on, and we're going to see where we rejoin. I feel like we've gained time by staying out. Max and Co just battling really heavily. Now Max has broken away from the Leclerc-Russell battle. But here we go then. We're going to box. We're going to go for the softs and try them out and see how they feel. I'm usually a hard tyre connoisseur in this game, but needs must. 60 kph, slow pit lane. Right, come on boys. No mistakes, please. Lovely jubbly. 2.5. Right on the money, as always. Right, Norris is going by right now. We could actually be just behind Alonso here with the pit exit benefiting us.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Look at this. Piastri going purple after that mistake. But we rejoin ahead of Verstappen. The overcut has worked. We've stayed out of trouble. Just been running our pace in clean air, getting the DRS in the traffic, and that has worked out for us. P3 on softs. We can win this thing. Piastri P5 overtaking Russell. So McLaren do have a good race car. Piastri now recovering from that mistake. This tyre feels really quick. The question is, will it hold on? I also fear primarily for overheating. The front left and the medium look pretty warm, so this could be an issue. First target, Alonso, and we're going to get a nice helping hand of DRS and battery assistance to hopefully lock in and wrap up the fast lap of the race. Straight through into the 1 minute 9s. Next station, Lando Norris. Let's go.
Okay, Lewis, your lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this.
Leave me to it, mate. Leave me to it. Quite a bit of blue flag traffic. Norris not being let by Barcelona very nicely. And Perez also making it hard for him, whereas we're going to get the free pass and the double. And that is going to put us onto Lando and DRS straight away. Here we go. Putting the pressure on. Difference is, my name is not Tottenham Hotspur. My name is Lewis Hamilton, so we'll deliver. Here we go. DRS. We've got a full charge. Straight through. Lando doesn't even defend. He knows exactly what's going to happen there. And that gives us P1 in the Dutch Grand Prix. Now the question is, 10 laps to go. How is this tyre going to hold up at the end of this thing? That's the big unknown for me. We've broken DRS with Norris, so we're just about to. He might still have it now, but hopefully we'll keep the battery on throughout the straight to make sure we maintain the gap. You can see he's closing in. We go even quicker using all the battery on that lap. Right, now we should be able to drive off through here. A bit more traffic, which gets out the way. Bottas, thank you very much. We're going to improve and go quicker again. So this tyre is performing better than expected. I've checked my temperatures and we are absolutely fine. So right now, this was like a brilliant strategy call.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
Well, that was pretty easy. Average time over 4 laps, probably 2 seconds quicker than that. So, job done. Let's bring this home now.
Okay, clear.
Oh, something behind. Something's happened behind. Norris. Verstappen's through on Norris. What has happened? It's too late for a safety car, but Norris is stuck at the hairpin. Has he spun the car? I think he has. Oh my god, on the penultimate lap of the race, he's bottled a podium. Yeah, it's green, he's going again. Oh my god. Well, being frankly honest, I thought the AI were terrible in this race. Pace-wise, not great, but the amount of mistakes they're all making. I mean, there's been a bunch of yellow flags I haven't even shown you guys because, you know, it's been lower down cars, but they were so good in qualifying. But in race, and also with the new patch, one too many mistakes. You know, it's a bit too over the top. Anyway, great race, P8 to P1, and that is huge for the championship.
Great job, guys. That's an incredible result for the team. Just shows all the hard work we're doing. Let's keep pushing.
It's another brilliant performance behind the wheel. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag.
Wow, that's 3 wins in a row. This clearly solidifies them as a season contender. It's very tough to achieve 3 in a row, so very well done.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So race done, and we also confirm that we did get the fastest lap of the race as well. So maximum points around Max Verstappen's home race. What a performance. Verstappen does salvage a podium with that late Norris mistake, which I assume was a mistake. I haven't even seen it back yet, but I'm going to assume he spun the car into the chicane. Either way, there's your final running order. Now let's delve into the standings because that is what matters. So Gap now 21 points. The biggest gap, the biggest lead we've had all season over Max in this Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors, 12 points, the gap to Red Bull. That is really, really small now, and that is the closest we've been. Russell finishing the race, as you can see in the top 5, has helped, with Perez being way down in P18 with damage. So things have really opened up in this championship, guys. So game on. I think we have 7 more rounds to go, or 8 more rounds to go. So yeah, this is going to be fun, and it's going to go down to the wire. Either way, guys, on screen you're going to have the post-race fallout, our driver rating, of course, our rivalries versus Verstappen, versus Leclerc, versus Russell, the recognition, and also, of course, the specialist. Now, we are getting very close to 92 overall, very, very close, and that would win the rivalry versus Charles Leclerc. So we're possibly just 1 race away from achieving that. Anyway, guys, cheers for watching. Like the video, subscribe. We go again in the next one at Monza, I believe. Until then, as always, a big shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on screen along with the links down below in the description. And yeah, guys, see you soon. Take care, and let's go back from me.